Hey, what's up everybody? It's Bald Guy Ace, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to make a 161 by 161 sugarcane farm. That is the entire width and length of your island. And I can show you guys how to do this in just 6 simple steps. It's actually really easy, and you can build it segment by segment, so you don't have to build the entire thing at once, and that's what's really great about this way of building. If you find this video useful and you want to know when I post my next Hypixel Skyblock guide, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free and it really helps out my channel. So as far as the items that you're going to need to build this farm, all you really need are a lot of dirt. You can buy the dirt and the other items as you go, so you don't have to buy all the dirt at once. You're going to need some stone slabs, which you can make with stone bricks. You can buy both the dirt and the stone bricks from the builder NPC. You're going to, of course, need sugarcane to plant, but then once you start planting most of it, you can wait and you can harvest it to plant the rest of the sugarcane if you'd like to save some money. And you're going to need some water. I highly recommend getting the magical water bucket. You can get that from the auction house, or if it's not available in the auction house, you can craft it by getting Ice Collection 5, and that should save you a lot of time while placing water. For those of you that are new to Skyblock, I'm actually using mushroom soup in order to fly around my island, which makes building a lot easier. You can buy it for very cheap in the auction house, and I highly recommend doing that. So as you guys see here, I already have an entire island-wide layer of sugarcane farm built, but I'm actually going to build a second layer, so I'm going to show you guys how to build that right now. For planning purposes, your sugarcane farm will be 5 blocks high from the bottom dirt layer that actually holds the water in, all the way up to the top of the sugarcane. So step 1 of building your sugarcane farm is to build the border. I actually have it already marked where I want to start my border, and so I'm going to start it right here. You can choose to build your border with any material you want. I choose to use stone bricks because it just looks nicer, but you could just use dirt as well if you find that easier. You want to build this border all the way around your island. That's 161 by 161. It's easy to know how to build that because if you try to go beyond your border, you won't be able to do it. It'll actually just block you from building. So that way you know when you get to the end. You want this border to actually be 2 blocks high, and so I find it easier if you build the top layer of the border first. So I'm going to actually break this dirt right here, and I'm going to start building the top layer of my border first, and we're going to go all the way around my island, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to build the bottom layer of the border. Okay, so now I built the top layer of my border, and now I'm going to fly underneath this, and I'm going to build the bottom layer of my border, and so I'll get right back to you. Alright, and so now the 2-layer border of my sugarcane farm is now finished. As you see here, it goes all the way around my island. So step 2 is to build the walking paths. And so basically what you want to do is you want to build a path on each end so that when you're harvesting the sugarcane, you can run in between the fields. And so what you want to do basically is build 1 row of blocks at one end and then 1 row of blocks at the other end that you're going to be running through. Since you're going to be harvesting the sugarcane up this way and then back down this way, I want to build one of the walking paths right here, going this direction like this, and then I want to build the other walking path on the other end. You don't have to build it on this end or on the other end, only on the 2 ends that you're going to actually be harvesting down. So I just finished building one of the rows of the walking paths. Then I'm going to run down here, and as you see, this is the way I would be harvesting the sugarcane, running down this path. And I'm going to go to the end. I'm not building the walking path on this side, but I am going to build it on this side. And I'm building the walking path also on the bottom layer of the border, just so you see where I'm building it here like this. And so that way the top layer of the border acts as a wall while you're walking. And so I'm just going to build the rest of this path, and I'll see you in a second. Alright, so now that the 2 walking paths are finished, that brings us to step 3, which is to fill in all of the dirt layers. So as with a pumpkin farm, with a sugarcane farm, you're also able to build it in various segments, and each segment of sugarcane is 1 row of sugarcane, 1 row of water, and then 1 row of sugarcane. So as you see, with the rows of water, you want to build the blocks of dirt 1 level lower than with the rows of sugarcane. And so this pattern of sugarcane, water, sugarcane, you can continue all the way through the rest of your island if you want, or you can stop and you can build it segment by segment. But if you wanted to continue it all the way through your island, you would do sugarcane, water, sugarcane, sugarcane, water, sugarcane, etc. all the way through. So I'm going to finish this pattern and then I will get right back to you. And so after you mark off where you're going to be building the dirt layers on one side of the farm, you want to run over to the other side of the farm or fly over. And then you want to do the same thing on the other side of the farm. That way you know where to start the next layer of dirt. And so once all the dirt markers are placed, all you need to do is just place the dirt starting from one marker and just go all the way down the row to the other end of the island. And then once you're at the other end of the island, you can come back. Since you placed dirt markers on that end as well, you know where to start, and you're going to place the next row. And since this one happens to be the water row, I'm going to go down a level like this, and I'm just going to start placing dirt and then go back the other way. All right, and so now I have 2 rows of dirt placed. You could continue this all the way down your island right away if you want, or you could wait and you could just build each segment by segment. So what I'm gonna do for the purposes of this video is I'm gonna build a few more dirt layers, and then I'm gonna move on to the other steps, which you can choose to do as well, or you can choose to do it all at once. Okay, so once you fill in your dirt layers as much as you want, the next step is to place the water. So what I found when placing water with a magical water bucket, the fastest way to do it is to make your speed go at about 173 or around there. So as you see here at 173 speed, I take my magical water bucket and I can just move to the side like this. And although it's skipping a few squares, the water will totally fill in and it'll act as if every square is filled by a source block of water. Don't worry too much about the speed though. You can go at whatever speed you want as long as you make sure that all of the squares actually end up having water in them. For example, if I just placed this one block of magical water like this, if you go over here, you'll see that this just has a little bit of water in it. That's still good enough to count for growing the sugarcane. I just like to fill up all the blocks just so it looks nice. By the way, while you're placing your water, I would highly recommend carrying some empty buckets just in case you accidentally spill the water somewhere else and you have to pick it up. That way you have some empty water buckets to pick it up with. So after you finish placing the water, that brings us to step 5, which is to plant the sugarcane. So when planting the sugarcane, make sure that your speed is back down to as low as you can get it. So I'm going to unequip all of my gear, and that brings my speed down to 113. That way I can go side to side and I don't have to worry about missing any spots when planting the sugarcane. Another thing I like to do when planting is I like to only have 3 stacks of sugarcane on the bottom of my inventory. That way when I place them, I know that at the very end I should always have 35 pieces of sugarcane remaining. And if I don't have that, I always check to see if I maybe double stacked or if I skipped a spot. That way you can have a general idea of whether you're skipping spaces or not. So I'm just going to go side to side with a regular speed and I'm going to place this. As you see, I'm not skipping any spaces, and so that's pretty nice, but always double check at the end and just make sure that you didn't skip anything. By the way, unlike with pumpkins, with sugarcane, you don't actually till the land. You actually place this on regular dirt that's not tilled, and so it's actually far easier because you don't have to take that extra step of tilling all the land. Once you get one row of sugarcane placed, you just turn around and you just place the next row. As you see, I have 35 pieces left, so I know that I didn't skip any holes, and now I'm going to go ahead and place the next row. Alright, so now that I finished that second row of sugarcane, I would continue on down the rest of my farm. I would start placing here. But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to move on to step 6, which is to place the stone slabs. By the way, as you notice, I didn't plant any sugarcane on the very edge here. You could choose to do that, but because I farm sideways like this, I don't actually place any sugarcane on the very edges of my farm. But you can choose to do that if you want, and it will grow since it is touching water. So placing the stone slabs is actually optional. You don't actually need to. Right now, your farm is actually complete, and you can actually, as soon as the sugarcane grows, you can actually farm it by going up and down like this, or you can go sideways. But building stone slabs really helps you out because it makes it so that you don't accidentally break the first layer of sugarcane. It also helps you because if you choose to farm straight up and down, you won't actually run off diagonally into the water like that because the stone slabs will be guiding you. So another thing you can choose to do with your stone slabs is to purposely block off your path, which helps you when guiding which way you're going to go while farming sugarcane. So if I go down here to my first layer of sugarcane farm, you'll see that I actually blocked off my path here. So I warp in and I can't actually go this way, and that's because I like to farm sideways. Then you build the stone slabs all the way down here, and then when you get to the end of the farm right here, I actually don't close it off here. So that way when I'm done farming right here, I get to the end and I can just go straight ahead to here, and then I can just do the same thing going down this way, and I can break all this, and then when I get to the end down here, it's not blocked off down here either. So what you want to do when you're building the stone slabs is you want to build it right above the wall layer of blocks, so it actually ends up being basically 1.5 blocks high above the water. So regardless of whether or not you're going to block off the path, you do want to have the stone slabs above the water if you're going to choose to build them. So then once I get to the end, I leave an open spot here so that I can move forward to the next row of sugarcane once I have that built. So when you're actually farming your sugarcane, you can choose to farm sideways or straight ahead. If you choose to farm sideways, the optimal speed that you want to go at is 178. So you can kind of change your wardrobe around and mess around with things so you can get as close as possible without going over to 178. And so farming sideways would just entail going like this. You want to always move your mouse a little bit so that you can make sure you're getting experience from farming when you do it. If you choose to farm straight ahead, then the optimal speed that you'd want is 356, which is a little bit harder to get, which is another reason why it might be better for you to choose to farm sideways. But congratulations, all you have to do is follow these steps and you will have a full sugarcane farm. So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys. I really hope it helped you out. If it did, it would be great if you could leave me a like and also comment down below what you liked about it. But what would really help me out is if you guys hit that subscribe button below the video. That way you guys can find out when I post my future guides, and it gets me one step closer to YouTube rank. So thanks a lot for watching this video, guys, and until my next one, I'm Bald Guy Ace, reminding you to embrace the baldness.